SlamminTunes.com. It is Media Man Dan. I'm sitting here on the line with Seraphim Ward right now. How's it going?
Hi, it's going great.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today. You are a singer, a songwriter, even a filmmaker. Tell us about when you got started.
Oh, wow. This goes way back when I was little. I got started writing when, because I used to have a speaking impediment. I used to stutter a lot. So it kept me kind of like an introvert. So that's how my writing came about, was I used to write poetry and I used to write down things what to say because I didn't want people to laugh at me. So instead of me talking, I would actually write down, what I'm saying, and so they just really converse appropriately with society. So I became a love for literature, and it went from there to writing lyrics because of course I'm expressing myself, in dialogue like that. And so then when I was able to talk, that's when I got my first heartbreak, whatever you want to call it. And then this is kind of how all my lyrics kind of came about for my couple albums that I have. And filmmaking, I went to film school for that, doing my break on doing music because of my vivid imagination that I have. And I was, recommended that it was you got some really crazy things up there. Maybe you should try putting it to film. But of course, I didn't know how to do that yet. And now that I'm more educated, I said, okay, well, let me go to film school. Let me just do this because I actually admire Rob Zombie, and for what he's doing his work, what he's doing with music and with film at the same time, and he's not choosing one or the other, but he's doing them both purposely. So I got my influence from him. I'm doing a filmmaker and also a musician at the same exact time. Because I feel if you have a gift or both, you have to choose. So I went to film school, and my first movie is Angel One Eye that we just shot. It hasn't come out yet, but we have finished shooting it. And then after that, we're doing Crimson Shade, and then the one Graveyard Girl, which is the paranormal documentary one that we're doing.
Wow.
So that was current, yeah.
So tell us about Graveyard Girl.
Graveyard Girl, it's a paranormal documentary, okay, and it's done all live. And it's 7 people, 3 days in a graveyard, and you can't leave, basically. So whoever goes down goes down there. I have as I say, a gift for explain and are illuminated to say. I have no idea where it came from. It was in our bloodline, just weird stuff. Or some just all kinds of weird things that's going on. And my mom finally enlightened me on it. Probably 5 or 6 years ago, when I kind of came to terms to who I was and just to accept who I am and not really try to blend in make people like me because they didn't like me anyway. That was weird. So now I'm great. I'm just weird, and I'll just be weird and just be myself. So basically, spirits, or what do you call it, entities, they materialize when I'm come out. If there is activity in the room, and we've gotten this on film a lot. On cameras and on video. So, like I said, they recommend it. You should do a show or something, but people won't believe it. If you tell them, they won't believe it. So you might as well just do a show about it. So because you see the other shows those kinds of stuff. I get so frustrated because I'm okay, that's just crap. you don't really see anything. You don't see a ghost. You don't even hear a voice. They're oh, did you hear that? And you play that, but you don't really hear them see anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So with one stuff you actually hear. And this was it's kind of ironic because it's I'm talking to another dimension, another realm. Or even the afterlife, and you hear it too. Whatever I hear, you hear. So it's not it's in her head. It's whoa, this is insane, crazy stuff. This could be the next level, and doing the whole ghost hunting thing. Although I don't hunt, if I just present myself to actually materialize. So that's what Graveyard Girl is about. It's only 3 days in a graveyard with 7 people, and they're not actors. They have to volunteer, by the way, because I don't believe in casting things like that because everybody has their own beliefs. And like I said, you have to volunteer to stay 3 days. And some people, they can get weird out by that. And we will have a paramedical site if we have to have that.
Yeah.
Because it's SAG rules. And so we just have a great time and just kind of see what we can manifest.
Wow. That's awesome. You don't use any actors.
No actors at all. Everybody's volunteer. We welcome religion. So if you're a Christian, if you're a Jew, if you're Muslim, whatever, we don't care. We just don't want, the show to be fabricated it's oh yeah, I wanted to do the show, then you get into like, oh my God, it's actually real. It's like, yeah, it's real. What do you think he was getting into? But you know what I mean? It's like it's not one of those kind of shows where we're like, okay, we're going to write the script or we're going to do this reality show, but it's really a fake reality show. You know what I mean? And this is your life, what you're going to do. It's like, no, it's actually a reality show that you actually watch it like as it goes along. And there's going to be no special effects. There's going to be like no we call like editing to make things sound better. It's like, no, everything's going to be as is, because the way it is as is pretty insane. So I'm really looking forward to the completion of that one and, presenting, what we come up with.
Wow, that is awesome. That sounds like an amazing, ambitious project.
Yeah.
Where would we be able to find that, all said and done?
I'm sorry?
Where would we be able to find that when it's all said and done?
Oh, to find the Graveyard Girl?
Yeah.
Oh, well, basically, like, sci-fi, what we do is like a sci-fi. I have a distribution deal, basically, and it goes to, like, if we choose the theaters, it was like Redbox, Netflix, cable, sci-fi. It has, like, all those on it, so we just choose where we would like for it to go, and then, of course, the film company does it from there. So, I would like to get a show on sci-fi, at least, or the WB, something like that, like, because it is like the next level. It's not just like a plain, documentary or ghost hunter, because it's like we're not hunting ghosts. We're just kind of like showing up. You know what I mean? Like they're like, hey, it's like I know it sounds funny, but that's my life. Like it really happens, and you're like, wait, you see that? I'm like, yeah, I see it. It happens all the time. So, so just kind of like we're just gonna go, to these locations, kind of like you said, like see what happens, see who shows up, if you will.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I'm sure we'll have more info on that on your website, of course.
Yes.
SeraphimWard.com.
Yes.
And tell us about Time Heals All Wounds, new album.
Okay, Time Heals All Wounds, it's basically like it's diary of like my feelings and like what I've been through with relationships. That's more like the relationship more than anything. And like I said, I got my first heartbreak, my second heartbreak. And basically, that's what it's about. It's like things that I can never say to somebody, or things I should have said to somebody, because I still have the stutter girl complex. Although I don't stutter anymore, but I did for so many years that it just made me like an introvert. So sometimes I want to say things, I just can't say it. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to say that. And then after, you're like, why did I say that? And it's kind of like you try to say the relationship after the things you should have said. You know what I mean? It's like, God's going to be so patient, but then when there's no, when there's no life in a person, you're like, okay, I can get through this person, and then when that person goes away, you're like, no, wait, but this is what I wanted to say the whole time. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
And, so I've gotten past that stage in my life, thank God. So now it's like I'm very like open, and I speak exactly what I mean, and I do exactly what I want to do. Because I've learned from my past mistakes of fearing what they may think about me, what they may say if they know this, or not wanting to think that I like them because they're a musician or because who they are. So I deny everything they offered me. I'm like, no, I don't need your help. No, and I do think about myself. But the reality is they actually want to help you. Like my mom said, honey, if a guy asks, if they can help you, let them help you. Don't say, you need to help me. Actually do. Like, is it like my career, like music or whatever. And that's happened, a couple of times. I'm like, no, I want you to use your help. But it's like they're way used than I am in my career, as in being an artist. So, I learned from my past mistakes. Like I said, I think it was the right thing I did at the time because I don't feel I was ready. But the whole point is like I'm ready now. So it's just like a diary of just like my past fuck ups, if you will.
Well, speaking of Time Heals All Wounds, we are going to be playing a track off that album right now. It's What's the Color of Love? More with Seraphim Ward after this. SlamminTunes.com, sitting in with Seraphim Ward on the line. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. Thank you.
That was What's the Color of Love off your new album, Time Heals All Wounds. What exactly inspired that track?
Well, what inspired that track? It's What's the Color of Love, but Beautiful Creatures is the original title because it's about a beautiful creature. If you were like a man, you know what I mean? He's a beautiful creature, but I'll understand you. So yeah, but that's yeah. I mean, pretty much I say everything in that song. Like I said, that I'm an honest writer, and whatever I write is actually real. which means it's something that has happened to me. And that was about a past relationship that I did have, with someone that meant a lot to me, and he's also, he's in business as well, music business. Yeah, I guess the hours. Oh my God! He's like, oh my God! He's like, oh my God.
So I got you a little flustered there.
Do what? Well, no, but just like, I don't know. I still get goosebumps when I mention his name, so that's kind of why.
I understand. Well, in terms of new albums, new songs, what can we expect in the coming months?
Well, I'm working on my new album right now, and we're almost finished. Basically, what I want to do with this one is, instead of waiting till the whole thing is done, is like release singles from it, like individual tracks, because I just find that sometimes years go by before we done the whole album, and it's kind of like, I hate dead time. I hate time that is idle. So I want to keep the flow moving and just release singles off the album. And then when the whole album is actually done, maybe I'll have some bonus tracks in there to release the whole thing together. But in the meantime, just do singles off of the album.
Yeah, that I've seen a lot of artists do that. They release just a little bit at a time, and that way people are always talking about you rather than just blowing your load all on one album, and then you're popular for a little bit, and then after a while it just dies down, and people are waiting for your next big thing.
Exactly, and it's like when I hit, it's like in the meantime, you could have a number one hit, and people be like, oh wow, this just kind of blew up out of nowhere. It's like you never know what song is going to really just people can really connect to, and just really pop. So, like I said, I'm a strong person, and I just want to do. I just want to do my career, do my craft, and I want to do it well. And I want to be perceived well. If it could be, and so far so good. I think I have enough damage in my life, and that to where people are like, oh, okay, we understand her. She's a wreck, so she's cool. It's kind of like that. Like, I'm done trying to be perfect because I know I'm not perfect, and my mom already told me that. She's like, girl. So I like I said, I've come to fruition to who I am, and I embrace that. But yeah, so that's another new album. One of my first singles off that, this was a weird little fling that I had, it wasn't just too long ago, but this was called My Voice as a Sex Addict, My Voice as a Slut.
I think we know what this one's about.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's really cool though. It's like, this is kind of one because my phone's out the window. And I was like, this is so what you are right now. You know what I mean? And I just wrote it out and I dumped them. This is recent, something just real recent, a little boy toy thing. Nothing serious. I'm like, okay, I'm just doing music. I don't need to do this anymore.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So, just a couple of other random questions here. I'm just curious, if you had the chance to collab with any band at all, who would it be?
Oh wow, any band, dead or alive. I'm just joking. I know there's a few people that, like I said, that I look up to and I do admire, and one because of the honesty as an artist, that's very important to me. People who just don't write just to sell a song, or they're just like, oh well, I wonder if this can be a hit, so they're trying to make up what to say, or get another writer to write their songs, and they sing it, and you're like, oh dude, I thought they still wrote that song, and it's like, I know a couple times I've gotten disappointed, oh wow, I love that song, I'm like, I love this artist, and you read the credits, he didn't write that song, or she didn't write that song, so it kind of takes away the connection to the artist. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's why I'm more into writing my work as opposed to having someone else to write, because I can't say anybody else's words. Nobody else can say it the way that the person who wrote it felt it. So those are the kind of people I look up to. I like Missy Elliott. I would like to collaborate with Missy Elliott. One point or another, sooner than later.
Yeah.
Because I love the way that her imagination. I love her outside the box creativity, and I know what she started with Aaliyah, and but it's I'm way more outside the box. I'm into more of a darker pop. I just think that would kind of work with Missy's personality and creativity in mind. I think it would be a great match. Also I like Eminem. I like his honesty in his work. I like 9 Inch Nails Trent Reznor. He's very honest and raw, and how he delivers his work, and what he does is pure. So people like that I actually like look up to, look after, and they're like great role models to me, and like they're like like a parents of light, if you would. I mean, like down in dark alley or something like that. Like I see the way, although it may be dark for me, I still see the way. After like, okay, well they do that, and they're and I'm more fucked up than they are. You know what I'm saying? Like just things that I can relate to in that person, and I'm like, okay, well I can do this. This like I said, I used to stutter a lot, and it wasn't for because I do know Chet. I met him, and we actually dated for a period of time, and so he brought a lot out of my stuttering. Like I was an introvert, and right when we got together, like when I stopped stuttering, but I was still like introverted at that time. So of course I'm not now, and just from being around somebody like that whose work you actually admire, it's like, okay, well, this person actually takes time to to like talk with me, you know what I mean? Like to invest in me, and whether it's emotion, whether it's whatever. So, I'm very fortunate to have people like that, that has been a part of my life and has guided me to where I am right now, basically. You know what I mean? It's like now I can just be myself, be the artist that I always wanted to be, because what was bestowed in me by these other good artists that I know and that, who took the time out to like, like to give me advice or talk with me. You know what I mean? Things like that. So, yeah.
That'd be awesome. Any of those artists you mentioned would be awesome.
I know, right?
Well, another one I had for you is, what does Seraphim do when she's not making music, filmmaking? What do you do in your free time?
Oh, wow. You have had free time. Like, seriously, like, this is my life.
I wouldn't either, honestly.
Yeah, like my free time, like, seriously, to me, it's idle time. Even when I sleep, I'm, like, thinking, I'm creating, I'm, like, like, I wake up, like, oh, my God, it's a great thought, and I, like, write it down, I'm always looking for, like I said, like, people that are somewhat like me, like, who are, like, ambitious, who are go-getters, who's not just in Hollywood to, like, be a climber. I'm just looking for people who are more, just, like, it's like, you have a vision, let's go do it. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I'm always, like, looking for collaborators, Like, my free time is always still about my craft, my art. Like, I like movies, but I haven't been able to see a movie lately. The one that's on my list that I haven't seen yet is Gone Girl. So that was like my next one to see, and I know I haven't seen it yet. Like I said, I haven't really had much time to, like to myself. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of like my life, what I do. Even my private needs investors and beneficiaries. So my makeup line was just Seraphim Cosmetics. I'm looking for that right now. So we're going to open up a cosmetic line, and that's already like set forth. But now we're just for like the back ending of it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I have like a lot of things that that I'm doing, just besides the whole artist and filmmaker thing, because I just want to build an empire. I want to like Walt Disney. I want to like own a theme park. It's a Icon, theme park. Which like like it's catered around like the whole supernatural, the whole like dark goth thing, like all year round. So it's not just like on Halloween. It's like you actually go to the theme park and you take it to like the underworld. You know what I mean? Like that's where I want to be. I want to be like, my mind's like Disney's mind. You know what I mean? Like I want to be something great where I can leave, to like my descendants whenever I'm done with this earth. It's like it's more of an investment than just like a quick fix. I'm like, no, I just want whatever I put down, I want it to be forever. At least to where somebody can like continue on, when my time is done.
Yeah, I visit that theme park. I'll tell you that. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, right. I'm like, I'm so Icon theme park is awesome, right? I mean, like it's not trademark, it's Icon, and my production company is called Icon Productions as well. And so I'm like, yeah, just at the theme park. I mean, I think that'd be awesome,
Yeah, I haven't heard of a whole lot of musicians attempting to open theme parks. Yeah, I think that's a niche market you could probably corner.
Right? I mean, like, I have these great ideas of, like, just a different, rise, like, a different, like, names, like, all this just weird stuff in my head that it's like it's a gold mine in that for whoever just, like, just like, okay, let's sit down and see what's in this girl's head. Like, you'd be amazed what's in my head as a creativity.
Absolutely. We are low on time here, but I do appreciate you taking the time to chat with us here on SlamminTunes. Seraphim Ward, be sure to visit seraphimward.com for more on upcoming albums, film projects, everything. Also, SlamminTunes.com will have all the links for you there as well. Thank you so much. This has been awesome.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yes, absolutely. We'll be playing some more music from Seraphim Ward all the time here on SlamminTunes. In fact, we'll get started right now with Bad Behavior at SlamminTunes.com.